Hi dear students, good morning. This is day 2 session and the next poem we are going to see is The Road Not Taken, written by Robert Frost. This well-known poem is about making choices and the choices that shape us. Robert Frost is an American poet who writes simply but insightfully about common and ordinary experiences. This was the general thing given by in the textbook about the author. Let's see briefly about the author now. Now we are going to see about the detailed description of the poet, the author, Robert Frost. Robert Frost was born. His full name is Robert Lee Frost. He was born on March 26, 1874 in San Francisco, US. And he died in January 29, 1963 in the age of 88 in Boston. His occupation was a poet and a playwright. As I said already, the popularity of this poem, again I am repeating, this poem was written by Robert Frost and was published in 1961. As the first poem in the collection Mountain in Trouble, the poem having a perfect rhyming scheme, A-B, is an ambiguous poem that allows the reader to think about the choice that they make in life. This was the important thing here, that this poem is clearly portraying about the way the person who select in his life. Robert Frost wrote this poem for his friend Edmund Thomas as a joke. He considered it was a tricky poem. That's all from the author. Next we are going to have a look of the mind map of the poem The Road Not Taken. The poetic devices that I'll explain you later. These are the 3 poetic devices that was being mentioned in the poem that I'll explain you later. Then the main theme of the poem is here decision making. I told you before, it was a poem that tell you about the path, the way that a person select in his life. That is first point is his decision making. Then after the decision making, he will get some confusion, then regret. Finally, he will regret because of what he take as the decision. If it is good, he'll be happy. If it is bad, definitely it will be a sadful moment. Then the critical analysis of the poem is the poet's mood and the condition of the mind. The person's condition and the mood of the poet is explained here clearly. This is the critical analysis here, and the background of the poem is also very clearly explained about these 3 things about the road not taken. Word meanings will be there and the poetical devices are there, so that we will see next. Before we see the line by line explanation of the poem, let's have a look of the summary of the poem. In the poem The Road Not Taken, the road symbolizes our life. The poet says that the path that we don't choose in our life is the road not taken. That the path that the person they doesn't mean to select, they doesn't have interest to select, that is what the road not taken. He describes his feeling about that choice that he had left in the past. The path which we have chosen decides our future, our destination. So this is the very important point here we have to look. See, the path which we have chosen, that is in the beginning what we are going to choose, that will decide our life in the future, and it will take us to the destination. The important message that the poet wants to give is that the choice that we make has an impact on our future. So here the important message is what the choice we are making as a decision that leads us to the bright future. And if we make a wrong choice, definitely we regret. Here we regret means definitely it will make a sorrowful moment. We feel guilty and we feel sad. But cannot go back on it. So we cannot replace it again. We cannot go back to the same position. When we reach to the destination again, we cannot come back. This is what the final position of the wrong choice of the path. So we must be wise while making choices. So at last we have to think of our choice, whether what will be the best for us. That should be taken as a decision, and it should be then when the good decision makes us to reach the nice destination, and when we take a wise decision, definitely our future will be bright and good. Now we are going to see stanza wise the poetry lines as well as the meanings, description, glossaries, and the explanation of each line of the stanza. Let's start with the first stanza. See the first stanza, first line here. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down, one as far as I could. Nowhere it bent in the undergrowth. This is the first stanza, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lines in the first stanza. Let's have a look of the glossaries. First, in the first line we have diverged, the word diverged. What is the meaning for the word diverged? Separated and took a different direction. That means diverged means two different separation of the path. In a single road, when we go, diversion means we will have two roads together, both this side and that side. Then the next glossary word is yellow wood. Here yellow wood represents a forest with decomposing leaves. What is mean by decomposing leaves? When it happen? So this decomposing leaves happen in the autumn season. When we see the trees in the autumn season, definitely there will be yellow leaves everywhere. That is called yellow woods. Here the forest is completely covered with yellow leaves, so it is called as yellow wood. Yellow wood. The next glossary word is undergrowth. The next glossary word is undergrowth. Undergrowth means dense growth of plants, and bushes means in the forest. So dense growth means we'll have a huge amount of plants grown in a same place like a bush in the forest. It's called undergrowth. These are the glossary words, difficult words that we are from the first stanza. Now I am going to narrate you these poetry lines as a story here from the description. Let's start the story now. See the story here in the red lines. First, for the first line, the explanation for the first line is: once the poet was walking down a road. So once the poet, the author Robert Frost, walking down a road, and then there was a diversion. Diversion means separation of the roads. Separation of the roads. There were two different paths. So two different paths is going here, and he had to choose one out of them. So if he cannot go in both the paths, one cannot be chosen by him. So he has to select one out of them. The poet says that as he was one person, he could travel on one road only. As a person, he could travel only one road. We cannot travel in both the road. Only one best road he has to cross. He had to choose one of these two roads in the yellow woods. As I told you before, here yellow woods mention is represented here, the forest with leaves which wearing out and they have turned into yellow color in the season of autumn. I told you yellow woods means the forest is completely covered with the leaves that was changed in its color as yellow. That was happened only in the autumn season. That symbolization is mentioned here as yellow woods. It represents the world which is full of people, where people have been living for many years. They represents people who are older than the poet. The poet kept standing there. So he was standing there and looked at the path very carefully. So he is standing there and looking at the path to that he wants to select any one from that. He wanted to know how it was it suitable for him to or no. So he has to choose, he has to use his knowledge, and he has to think for the right path to select from the diverged path. He was able to see the path till from where it was curved. So he can see till the end of the curve of that path, after which it was covered with trees and was hidden. So we can see only from the end of the path. After that we cannot see. So here he is explaining that the path was till the end of the path he could see from there, and there was a curve to turn the path. He couldn't see there more. After that curve he couldn't see anything than that. It happened in our life also when we have choices. See here, this choice represents not only the people who wants to take decision, like as students you people has to take decision, right decision. When you complete your education, you have to take right courses to reach your future as a good destiny, as a nice destiny. You have to take choice, you have to take decision from. There will be so many choices for you to continue your education, but you have to take care of that. You have to select the correct way of path choice that should be taken in within that you have to, that is the only point you can, that will change your life. We have alternatives, we have so many choices. In that situation, when you complete your 12th or 11th or 10th, when you go for another next level of your educational level studies, you may have so many alternative choices, but you have to select your own best way of education and the best next level of education that should be taken by you. But we have a choice, only one out of them. You cannot take all the alternatives, all the courses as one. You have to select only one course that should be suitable for you. That what should be suitable for you, that you have to take decision on that time. We take time to think about the pros and cons, that is the plus and minus. That is the important thing in our life, to take the best decision in the right time. Whether it is suitable for us or not, only then we can take a decision what the path we should choose. Then only we can select, we can think of the correct decision, and when you select the correct decision, you can reach the future with the beautiful destiny. Then let's have a look And for the next stanza, this is stanza 2. Then took the other just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. So I told you about the diverged roads. This will be, you may see in the roadside. This will be shown when you have a two path of road. This is what two roads diverged, that is separated roads are there. Though as for that the passing there had owned them really about the same. So the next stanza, for that the glossary words are, first word fair. Fair means as good as the other one. You cannot choose the best one, because two can be the seen to be your favorite subject. So there will be a confusion. Fair means as good as the other one. So you have to choose the best one what you want. Then claim means better option. Claim means better option. Then the next one, grocery. Grassy means grassy unused path. Grassy means unused path. That means grassy, when you see the path, if it is grassy, then it means that nobody had been used that path. That is unused way, unused path. Unwanted wear. The next one, last one is wanted wear, had not been used. Wanted wear means unused, wanted wear, grassy, both are similar meaning. Wanted wear means had not been used. That means the path has not been used by anyone. This is the glossary words from this stanza 2. Let's see the description of the passage. The poet kept on looking at the one path for a long time. So I told you he's just stood in the center part of the path, and he checked if it is the right for him or not. He is taking decision now. He has to take decision now, right decision, that which path he has to choose. Then he decided. Then he decided for him. He started walking to the another path, because he felt that both paths were equally good. So if you may have confusion, this is the place that you can see that you may have confusion. You may get confusion definitely in the future, that both when you have a choice of two career to be chosen, you may feel that both will be suitable for you, but that this is the place he got some confusion. He says just as fair, so he felt both the paths were equally good. He is thinking here that both the paths are good. That means both the career that the person or student who wants to select for the next level of his life, that is his higher education. It can be a college, it can be or some other career to be continue. So equally he may feel that equally it may good, and he started walking on and of them. And he adds that maybe he felt the path was better for him, he chose. And he is seeing one of the ways has been chosen by so many people, and there was no plants anywhere, but one way was full of grassy leaves and plants and bushes that was not seen as unused. No, not many people had walked on that grassy path. So one way, even though in so many landscapes you can see, if the path is used by someone, then definitely in the area we cannot see some small plants. It will be clean. If it is not used by anybody, definitely we can see some grass in the land. So this is the way he is selecting his path. And unwanted wear means that was not walked over by many people. That is, so if the path was not being used by any people, that is it was, that's what it was, grassy, and it was wanted wear. After he walked the path some distance, he realized both of the paths has been worn out some way. Both of the paths were similar and worn out. He is getting confusion because of both the paths are good to walk. So he is getting confusion. He is getting tired of thinking about the path that he wants to select as the best one. Even in our life, we take any path, our option, but all of them have the same benefits. So you may have two option that shows you the both equal and same benefits and disadvantages, problems, challenges we must face in them. So everywhere challenges, problems, everywhere it is there, we have to face them. We think that we are choosing the better option, but not that way. So this was the final conclusion of the stanza 2. Let's see the next stanza 3 now. Then we are going to see the stanza 3 here. And both that morning equally lay. See the line, first line, and both that morning equally lay. In leaves no step had trodden black. In leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how ways leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. This was the next 5 lines from stanza 3. The first glossary word is trodden. Here then the next second line it was there, trodden. Trodden means walked over. Trodden means walked over. That means that is used path. Unused path we have seen in the last stanza, that was grassy and wanted wear. This is used path, makes walked over. So the poet, the next explanation of the stanza 3 is, the poet says that both the paths were similar. So here he is confusing again that both the paths are looking similar and same. That morning both had leaves on them. So both the path was looking like it was unused by the people, and there was leaves on the path, and no one had stepped on. No one had stepped on means no one is used, no one is walked over on that path. Because of that, so many leaves are lying down on the floor, on the ground. Them as they were still green in color. See here, so it was when it is walked over by a people, definitely the leaves will be yellow and it will be crushed by their fruit. But see here, the leaves are green in color still. That means that nobody have been walked so far, so it was green in color in the path. He desired that the day he would take on path and keep the other path for another day. So he is having a decision. He is taking a decision that one day we can select this path, another day we can use that path. Definitely it will not be suitable for our career. Am I correct? So although he knew that one way leads to the another way, definitely you cannot choose both the way in the same time. You have to choose any one of the way, any one of the path from that. So another way, he knew that he could not go back. He knew that he could not go back. So he cannot. If he wants to go back, definitely it cannot be possible. So he has to move on. He has to move to move forward. He cannot take backward of the step. He has to go forward. Again, he cannot take backward. So he could not go back on the choice that he had made. Similarly, even in our life. So this is the parallelism we have seen here. We are thinking of the road as well as path, two path, and the author who is confusing here to select the best one. In our life also, similarly, that this is the parallelism here. So parallelism means we are comparing the road and the human life here. Similarly, even in our life, once we choose an option, once we choose once we select what to say, once we select our career to be continued as a course, or it can be an engineer, it can be a doctor, or it can be a pilot, whatever it is, we must keep on moving ahead. That means we have to go forward. If we take a good decision, definitely it leads to us a bright future. So ahead with that option, and we never get chance to come back. See, if we join in that course, definitely it will not be possible to come out from the course, and we cannot go for the another career. We cannot choose the another career. Once if it is chosen by you, definitely it should be move on to the forward and take another option where left earlier. So it is not possible. Definitely it will be a difficult situation, critical situation to come back from that choice. Definitely you have to go forward with that choice, whatever you are taking as a decision to be carried out. So let's see the next and last stanza of our poem, The Road Not Taken. I shall be telling this with a shy, somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. So if there was a beautiful and lot of meaning was there within this last stanza, I'll explain you now. Shy, the first glossary word we are going to see here, shy, that means deep breath, long breath, that is long breath. Shy means long breath. Next glossary word, hence. Here we have used here in the second line, it was used ages and ages hence. So the hence, the meaning for hence is here or in the future. Hence means hereafter, in the future. That was hence. That was the meaning of hence. So let's see the explanation of the fourth stanza. He says that in the future he will take a deep breath. So first he has to take a deep breath. Then he says that once upon a time. So this is the last stanza as we see here. He is explaining the future, that what you are going to be in the future. When you take a good decision, definitely your future will be happy and beautiful. If the choice is wrong, definitely the life will not be a successful one. It will be a difficult one for you. That was explained here in the last stanza. So here he is taking a deep breath and says once upon a time, that is in your starting point of the career time. Once upon a time he had reached such a point of life that there were two options from him for that is the two roads he is talking here, and he travelled on the road which had been travelled upon the lesser number of the people. So he is telling that he has selected the path as that was not chosen more by the people, and it was not travelled by anybody so far. So he has taken the lesser number of travelled path by the people. He has chosen there in the beginning. He has chosen in the beginning that decision of his decided his future. That decision of his decided his future. So that decision change its total future as bright or dull. That is the point here. Similarly, in future, when we grow up, then you will say that once upon a time when you were young, you had no option. The choice that you made, became. It is travel upon by lesser number of people. That decision of his decided his future. Similarly, in future, when you grow up, then you will say that once upon a time when you are young, you you had two options. So for a people that they may have no options. So for some people they may have two options, or some people they may have two or more than options there. The choice that you made here, the way that you select, the career that you select, made you what you became of it. So that point here, clearly explained by the poet, that position, that the situation what you choose in your life made you what you become. So that is the final decision and foremost decision to reach your beautiful destiny or not. That is the cross here. This is very strong message of all students, that you should be wise. So here finally they have pinpointed about the students here, that they may face this situation in their life every day, and in the after they completed their career, they may have this situation. Definitely in that time they should think wiser than anyone else, and you should wise and the option that you may have in your life, because your future depends on the choice that you make today. So whatever decision you are making today, that will make your life, and that will make your future bright and strong and healthy. This is the final point of the author, and it was only pointed about the students. This can be faced only by the students every day in their life. Yes, this was the very important thing that we want to know about from the poem. This is the important thing of the poem, that it is our literary devices. So literary devices used in the poem, The Road Not Taken. These are the first literary device, the rhyming scheme. It is A B A A B. That I'll explain you now. See here. In the first stanza, so usually rhyming scheme always be seen in the last word of each line. See the first stanza I am showing you now. The yellow wood. This is the first word. We are giving A, and both. The second last line of rhyming scheme is, so we are giving B, and wood and stood. Both have rhyming word. Both are rhyming words. So we are giving again the rhyming letter as A. Then here wood, stood, could. Even could also be a rhyming word of wood, stood, could. So we are giving again A. Undergrowth and both. These both are rhyming words. So the rhyming scheme is A, B, A, B. This is what the rhyming scheme. So that was given in the last. So if the rhyming scheme of the poem is A, B, A, B. Then the next literary device is symbolism. Symbolism here, what's symbolizing here? Two roads which represents two or more choices in our life. This roads represents the choice of the student or any people that they are going to take in their life as a decision. So two roads or two choices here. The next that is what the second one, symbolism, and the third one is anaphora. The third one is anaphora. What is meant by anaphora? And repeated at the beginning of lines 2, 3 and 4. So and is a word, it was repeated again and again in the second line, third line and fourth line. The same word, if it is used, then it is called anaphora. Anaphora. Then alliteration you already know about. In a same line we can see the same letter, starting letter of a word, that is wanted, where. W, the first word of wanted is W, and where second word first letter is W. So both the words have a same starting letter, that is W, that is called alliteration. will have a sound of W repeating again and again, wanted where. So this is called alliteration. Then the second, then the next one. So if we few examples are given here. First for F, the word F and F. First, F sound is repeating again, so it is a alliteration. If it is a word, it is anaphora. If words repeat in a first line, second line, third line and fourth line, it's anaphora. Alliteration means within a single line, we may have same starting letter, that is called alliteration. Though, that is the letter starts with TH sound, so it is called repeating or sound of TH sound, it is called alliteration. Then the next one we are going to see here, repetition. The fifth one is repetition. Ages is repeated. Two roads diverged in the yellow wood. That sentence, it repeats in stanza 1. So repetition means ages and ages. Two word, it was repeated again and again. That was the poetical literary device here, repetition. So the first one is rhyming scheme. Rhyming scheme of the poem is AAB, and symbolism, two roads is mentioned here as two choices. Anaphora means a single word repeated in second line, third line, first line, or somewhere it is within a stanza. If a word repeat again and again, that is anaphora. Alliteration means within the same line, the first letter of the word will be similar, so it is called alliteration. Then the last fifth one is repetition. If a word repeat again and again, is called repetition. So that's all from the literary device. So yes, I hope you all can understand, and it will be easy. It's a nice poem, a good poem written by Robert Frost. These are the questions that was given in the book back exercise. So this is your homework. If you completed reading the poem, you can start writing, find out the answers for the questions. It was at the book, at the back of the poem. Please find out the answer and give your answers in the group. Put your answers, post your answers in your group. It will be then only it will be an effective one. I hope you all can do it. Thank you very much once again. Thank you all. In the next session, we are going to see the next unit, The Sound of Music, Part 1 by Evelyn Glennie, Listens to Sound Without Hearing It. Thank you one and all. Thank you once again.